Welcome back, coin collectors, to another exciting episode of Coin Discovery Old Zone. Today video this coin 1964 Jefferson Nickel. This nickel could be worth a whopping $36,540. But how did this humble nickel become so valuable? Let's explore. Before we dive into the potential value of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, let's take a quick look at the history of this iconic coin. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938 and was designed by Felix Schlag. It features an image of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse, and Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, on the reverse. Over the years, the design has undergone some changes, but the 1964 issue is particularly interesting because of its role in U.S. coinage during the early 1960s. This was a time when the United States was preparing for major changes in the coinage system, and the minting process was ramping up to handle the demands of a growing economy. So, let's focus specifically on the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. It's made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing in at 5 grams, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. It's a common coin, produced in large quantities, but here's where things get interesting. Most of these coins are worth only a few cents, but there are exceptions. Some rare variations of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about why. The rarest of these 1964 Jefferson Nickels are those without a mint mark. As you probably know, every coin produced by the U.S. Mint has a mint mark to show which mint it was produced at, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all for the Philadelphia Mint. However, some 1964 Jefferson Nickels were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and mysteriously lacked the mint mark. Now, here's where the mystery comes in. During regular production, the 1964 Philadelphia minted nickels were supposed to have a mint mark. But a small batch of these coins was accidentally struck without one, which created a rare and valuable error. As you can imagine, finding one of these can be like finding a needle in a haystack, which is why their value skyrockets. Now, let's talk numbers. In 2005, one of these rare 1964 no mint mark Jefferson Nickels sold at auction for an incredible $36,540. That's a pretty hefty price tag for a coin that was originally worth just 5 cents. But why is it worth so much? Well, the value comes from the rarity of the coin, the error in production, and the demand among collectors for such unique pieces. The 1964 no mint mark nickel is sought after because it is not only a rarity, but also a piece of history. And like with any collectible, the value can fluctuate depending on the condition of the coin. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition will fetch higher prices, but even lower-grade versions of the coin can be worth hundreds of dollars. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare 1964 no mint mark nickels in my collection? Well, it's actually pretty simple to check. Look closely at the reverse side of the coin, near the bottom center, just to the right of Monticello. Normally, you'll see a D or an S if the coin was minted in Denver or San Francisco, respectively. But if there's no mint mark at all, then congratulations, you've got a potential gem on your hands. Of course, just because your coin doesn't have a mint mark doesn't automatically make it worth thousands. You'll also want to check the coin's condition. Coins in better shape are worth much more. Look for any wear and tear on the surfaces, the clarity of the design, and the overall grade of the coin. But how do coin collectors and dealers determine the value of a coin like the 1964 Jefferson Nickel? Well, it's all about the coin's condition, its rarity, and the demand among collectors. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. So a high-grade 1964 no mint mark nickel would be much more valuable than one with a lot of wear. In addition to the condition, the historical significance and scarcity of the coin play a major role in determining its value. Coins with errors, like the no mint mark 1964 Jefferson Nickel, often become much more valuable because they stand out as anomalies in the series. If you happen to have one of these rare coins, you might be wondering how to sell it. Well, there are a few options. You can sell it through a local coin dealer, at a coin show, or even auction it online. The most important thing is to get the coin professionally appraised to ensure you know its true value before you part with it. Make sure you know the going market rate for the coin, and if you can, get it graded by a professional coin grading service. A certified grade can significantly increase the sale price. So, there you have it. A detailed look at the 1964 Jefferson Nickel piece of currency _. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Coin Discovery Old Zone. See you next video.